Hey, my name's Giraffe Reese, and welcome to Jurassic Park. Specifically, The Lost World Jurassic Park for the PlayStation 1. This game is well known for two things: letting you play as a frickin' T-Rex, and being practically unbeatable. I looked into it, and most people have fond memories of never beating this game. Just playing as dinosaurs in 3D was enough, I guess, but now we've come to my history with this game. It was not so happy. When I was real little, I only had handhelds, but that was about to change on my something birthday. I was 6 or 7. That year, my parents decided I was ready to become a man. They got me a console, the PS1, this specific model of PlayStation. My parents included 2 games, the first being The Lost World Jurassic Park, which I played for 20 minutes before getting a game over. My friend asked for a turn and I said sure. Everything was going great. A few turns go by, and my older brother's turn came, and he followed suit, dying very early. Then he slammed his fist on the PS1, destroying the console and the game inside. Oh, sweet rage. I wish so dearly to be rid of you, yet you coil my heart. I threw a chair at him. After we were yelled at, the party went on, but I never forgot. In a month, I'm taking a vacation to visit my brother in South Dakota. I'm gonna have a little surprise for him. My parents got me a replacement PS1, so I was able to play the second game, Spyro the Dragon, which, if I had to choose. So my experience with this game was 20 minutes. I'm here to find out exactly what I lost. The Lost World Jurassic Park is a 2.5D action platformer with fully 3D graphics. The game opens by opening. You hit start and just spawn in as a T-Rex. No tutorial. Go. Be a T-Rex. Let your instinct guide you. Yeah, this game heavily relies on the manual to teach you everything. I have mixed feelings on this. For simpler games like this, it's passable, but it's always better to have a hands-on tutorial. I'll reference this manual a lot because it's honestly really good. It even gave you scientific data on the animals you play as and names all the dinosaurs you fight. As a kid, I would have loved this thing. The T-Rex level is easy. You bite, you eat to regain health, you get stunned by an RPG, and you move on. This level is actually exclusive to the Special Edition, which also adds some minor improvements throughout. So keep in mind, this is the improved version. We get a password for some reason and move on to the level I and everyone else died to. The Compy level. The Compy is pretty weak, so I adopted a strategy of running and hiding instead of fighting, which is neat. That's what a Compy would do. It just turns out being a Compy sucks. The graphics have that generic PS1 mud quality, so I can only progress with the vague notion that the exit is on the right. The next level is about avoiding sauropods, which is awful. They have different behaviors, so sometimes you can walk right through, sometimes you need to hang back, sometimes I don't know, you're gonna get stepped on. This is one of those platformers where turning around is its own action that takes time, so don't expect even the movement to be easy. Next we have to run away from a... hold on. Carnotaurus. Ha! Broke your ankles. That's why you're extinct. Wait, no, I didn't mean it. It's a prank. There's a camera right there! I decided that was enough for a first day and stopped here. The next day I could make big Oh no. There's no save points. They were serious about those passwords. The manual confirms that each chapter has a unique password, which are your only checkpoints. You have to complete an entire chapter made of multiple levels to keep your progress. More on this later, but I started writing down the passwords myself. For my second attempt at these levels, I decided to start going for the DNA collectibles. The optional challenges could be better made. This is the first full level, and this DNA collectible is driving me nuts. It's actually really simple. The optional route is obvious, and all you have to do is this short platforming trial over a death pit. For a platformer, this is bread and butter stuff. How could this be bad? Oh, how indeed. Like the turning, there's a delay when you start moving, but even worse, you have very restrictive tools for positioning. You either move exactly one step, no more, no less, or you start walking at max speed. There is no slow, controlled movement. It's like you're platforming with Pokemon controls, but the world isn't grid-based, so I constantly struggle to stand where I want it to. But fine, I can take as much time as I need to make these jumps. What is that? Maybe it's the early 3D, but I regularly fell through the edges of platforms. I want to be fair and admit, the compy has a weird body type. The hitboxes could look like this, so you see, it's not so bad, it's just a small gray area. And then I just fall straight through the middle? How dense are you? Were you the meteor? This makes me think your hitbox doesn't adjust when you jump. It's lower than your model, so your feet could make it over, but the bottom of your collision doesn't. This is pure speculation. I'm just looking for any lighthouse in this Jurassic Sea. There's mosasaurs in here, man. I finally made it through. No, no, no! You have to do it twice! Once to get the DNA, once to get out. All in one life. If you die, you lose the DNA collectible. I managed to get this one, but I don't want to do that again. What's the DNA for, anyways? Oh, the manual tells us. It's a behind-the-scenes gallery. Lost Worlds, I gotta be honest. You're not good enough to offer pictures as a reward. You think you're Mortal Kombat Deception? You're not. So no, I'm not bothering with the collectible. Instead, I decided to learn the combat. Like, really learn it. As a compy, you have a bite, a lunging bite, a backstep, a jump, and you can eat corpses to regain health. You also have a dedicated roar button, but I never found a purpose for that. I did some trial and error, real dive into game theory to come to the conclusion that it's bad. Your backstep literally does nothing on its own, and the little bite is only worthwhile for dragonflies. The lunge does so much more damage and covers a lot of ground, so you never want to use the bite. The surefire way to kill anything is to backstep multiple times to actually dodge their attacks, then lunge in to get damage. Rinse and repeat. The game almost fooled me into thinking this feels good for a minute. The enemies have clear attack windups, and mashing backstep does cover ground quickly, but this all falls apart the minute a second enemy appears behind you. Which is always. The game always has you surrounded, so you need to jump and hope you can at least get them all on the same side as you, then pray you have enough room to not fall in a pit or trigger more enemies. So no, the deep dive into combat did not work out. After the Carnotaurus level, we get a massive platforming one. They introduce these platforms with a small standable part and a much less standable slope that can fling you off at random. The physics are inconsistent on that last part. I actually got lost on where to go, resulting in a lot of deaths. I never got a game over though, because you get a free life right at the start, but probably a dozen tries. The next level, you may have noticed I paused the game here. This was to go get something to eat. As soon as I saw an oxygen meter in this game, I knew I'd need a break. You swim straight down this river, dodging alligators. Don't forget to breathe. But that disgusting surface oxygen? Absolutely not. Delectable cave methane? I'll have seconds. Wait, that's it? The level was like a minute long! And this next level's on land. Is that a human? I wasn't expecting to see a human for some reason. I guess he's hunting. Oh my god! Who hunts small game with an automatic grenade launcher? This level's the only good one. At least it works. You just keep jumping to new platforms to eventually escape. Done. No funny business. Oh, we're also done with the compy. Can't say I'll miss him. The next playable creature is the Homo sapien. Wow, I did not know you play the human. I've only ever seen dinosaur parts of this game, so I'm in the dark here. The hunter is really cool, relatively speaking. You get some clunky contra controls, different ammo types, grappling hook? Oh, we got a little bionic commando going on, okay. The gun is a semi-automatic, so you gotta press for every shot. And these small birds are really hard to hit, so you'll be frantically aiming and mashing every time you see them. Whew, got him. The level design is really bad. We're talking death drops, ridiculous enemy placement, and lots of each. While it did give me an arm cramp, if I had to pick a saving grace, It's that mashing to shoot a Pachycephalosaurus in the face is always fun. The grappling hook has some of the same issues as the compy platforming, but that wasn't so bad. Now we get to be a Velociraptor. Whoa, full motion video. It's just a guy running from the raptors. It looks like something my uncle and I would have made. When I was really young, my uncle would take my brother and I out in the woods, and we'd spend the whole day making up stories and filming little movies. Man, that was fun. Something tells me this won't be. The raptor controls exactly like the compy, but it's big enough to hunt the most dangerous game of all. Mall cops. They surprisingly aren't too threatening. I'm glad the stage censored this, because I don't want to know what's happening. This first level is a total slaughter hallway, but despite dealing little damage, the bullets stun you and kill momentum. Some poorly placed enemies brick-walled me here. Oh right, I have an aerial attack. Maybe that'll get over— Whoa! Oh, maybe this will be fun. I died once here because the enemies use the same ammo type as the hunter, and much like me, they panic spam the acid. Yeah, who's the hunter now? And I finished when I started. Back to hunting dinosaurs, the raptor kills most things in a single lunge, so it's a different feeling. It also gets double the healing the compy did. Is this a reference to their ability to scavenge better, or a difference in digestion? It's actually a reference to all the raptor levels being slaughter halls. Basically pure combat, so it makes sense the raptor gets a dive cancel like it's using Beowulf from Devil May Cry 3. We fight through other raptors, the Triceratops, and there's a boss fight against a Euoplocephalus. I didn't die much as a raptor, but I escaped by the skin of my teeth a lot. Maybe got lucky. And now, the moment I've all been waiting for. The big man in the logo. The one who makes dinosaur fans go loco. The one, the only, the tyrant lizard king! Oh, if Child Me only knew this day would come. There is a shocking lack of games that let you play as a T-Rex. Mario Odyssey and Dino Crisis 2 are the only ones I've played. At first, this feels incredible. You kill almost everything in a single bite, you're big, you're heavy, all you do is tear through wave after wave of raptors and humans, and then the game does what it does best. Ruins it. Much like the raptor, these levels are all about fighting, but as the big man in town, you get absolutely swarmed the entire time. Raptors spawn in a constant stream from both sides. It's so bad, you can wait and kill one raptor, then immediately turn and attack before you even see the new raptor because you know it's coming. How am I supposed to walk forward when I have to fend off both sides forever? And the raptors do like 3 times damage if they attack you from behind. I can't even see them coming when you only see 1 foot ahead! I know Jurassic Park had the idea of T-Rex with poor eyesight, but not like this. Also, the floor is lava for most of the level. Next, we get humans with grenade launchers that always stun you. And yes, they are still semi-automatic. The T-Rex levels are ruined by these compounding factors. Way too many enemies that easily stun you. Look at this! Even water geysers stun lock you. And the worst part is how all this prevents you from appreciating the good fights. We have mini boss fights with a Stegosaurus, a Triceratops, whom I managed to befriend, and some Allosauri. These fights are actually good, especially the Allosauri. When standing, it'll dodge and counter your attacks while slowly moving closer. You keep it at bay with little bites until it breaks its stance to walk forward, then you get a chomp. But oh, we're not done, because it'll immediately counter, so you have to bite and backstep. This is the type of fight that once you figure it out, it becomes trivial, but it was really fun to figure out. I'd rather fight these one at a time over and over than the dozens of mobs. The final playable character is another human. Sarah Hardy. Oh, it's the movie character! And the worst 3 levels of the game. Usually the end of the game is where the developers can really let loose and combine all the mechanics you've learned to make a truly climactic experience. They must have been distracted watching the movie, because they only grabbed the bad parts to make this. Sarah does not fight. She runs. From a T-Rex. Probably the T-Rex we played as? Yep, he gets stunned by grenades, same dude. Without a doubt, these 3 levels are the worst. I got multiple game overs on all of them. As we flee, we have to grapple onto small branches to swing over lasers, or dodge roll under the T-Rex's legs to have it clear the way. I haven't mentioned at this point, but just touching enemies does like 1 damage and makes you flinch. If your model gets stuck on something else, you'll just flinch over and over and over again. It's all the frustration of the compy platforming, the awkward grappling of the hunter, times the constant enemies of the Velociraptor and T-Rex. The third level is the final boss. It's about as hard as Julianne Moore actually fighting a T-Rex. Not helped at all by the constantly swaying ship messing up your jumps. No visible health bar, but this guy takes a beating. Ugh. Not the worst, Are you for real?! The final boss is 2 T-Rex. T-Rexius, T-Lexius. We got Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. They can also both be alive. I'm not sure if it's a time thing or a damage dealt thing, but I only saw this twice. First T-Rex was already a hurdle, but this is just ludicrous. I ate 4 game overs to this, only getting past the first T-Rex about half the time. The only thing that makes this fight possible is the new ammo type for Sarah, the Flare, which is very good at distracting the enemies so you can drop bombs on them. There's a respawning health pack, grenade ammo, and flare ammo on this upper level. It's very finicky to get, but I made it work. Sarah lives. She gets to safely escape into the arms of Jeff Goldblum. That's what this was all about. That's all, folks. 5 characters. And because of the password system, I now have all of them and can skip to whichever character I want. Of course, the manual just gives them to you for free, so that was time well spent. Getting these passwords for free means you can skip characters you don't like or get stuck on, or go straight to the T-Rex if you're like me. But all of these characters suffer from the same issues. A common defense mechanism for games is using difficulty to cover flaws. The FromSoft games have lots of problems that could be addressed, but game after game, the intended difficulty is used as an excuse. And that's what it is, an excuse. Early games are famous for covering their lack of content by making whatever content they had very difficult. Lost Worlds is a janky game, but if not for the difficulty, I think it'd be really fun. If they made platforms wider, didn't surround you constantly, or removed the flinch from being hit, I doubt the janky controls would bother me. As it stands, this game is low on content and has the difficulty artificially inflated to the level of internet fetish. This game had tons of studio backing, including Steven Spielberg, who offered a lot of creative advice. However, this didn't save the game from going into the big pile of mediocre tie-in games. Jurassic Park was such a hit, and Dinosaur hype was unparalleled. Despite the quality, this game is well known and well remembered. In fact, it's the opposite of a hidden gem. It's a public turd. But I do see the potential, which makes this sad. At least the manual was a good read. What? Small Soldiers 1998? Oh my god. I never knew. Because I never played this game, I never read the manual. I didn't know the Gorgonites needed me. I let them down. Look, I'm just saying the microchip brought Barbie dolls to life. The technology can be used for other things. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, a like and subscription mean a lot. And if you didn't like it, well, why the hell not? You better comment and tell me. Anyways, take care.